Adam Cook, you've been playing a game from Playdead, and it's a game that's been massively, anticipated ever since their first, amazing thing that everyone loved, which was Limbo. So what is inside, and how is it?
See, actually, I feel like it was massively anticipated, and it got delayed, or rather didn't come out, and now people have forgotten about it.
Well, Xbox did a good thing in their presser where they literally just put inside for 10 seconds and then moved on. I think that was a nice little, that's the thing. It
definitely was, but it was also kind of weird because it's like people, I think, had forgotten what that game was, and it's quite a generic name. Do you know what I mean? It's not like,
Gears
as
soon as it came on,
the
little trailer was just like an art screen, and I knew what it was straight away. I was like, oh, that's Thingy's game. The Limbo people. I couldn't remember its name though because I say it's not a good name.
Well, it's, the weird thing is, right, is having seen the trailers, and because Microsoft have, in fairness, it's coming to PC as well, but Xbox have certainly been behind this game. They've shown it a couple of times at E3, and each time I kind of thought, Limbo was an excellent game, but I wasn't sure what this game would actually be, and that's why I really wanted to play it, to see, well, what's their second game? It's been 6 years since Limbo. Limbo came out on Xbox, then it came to PC, PS4, eventually came to everything, and finally, it's like that game has been drained dry. Everyone who was going to play it has played it. The new game is inside, and it's kind of the same thing. And that sounds really negative, and I don't mean it to, but I don't know why I got the impression from the stuff that they've shown at conferences that it might be something a bit different. It's not. It is a monochromatic aesthetic, and it's a side-scrolling puzzle platformer. It is. If you liked Limbo, you will like this. It's. I don't want to say it's that again, although it does start this game with a small child in the woods. But it I don't know. It's a very good game. This is. Unfortunately, I really like Limbo. I should say that right now. I really like Limbo. I think there was one achievement I didn't get. I played through it multiple times. It wasn't a long game. This also isn't a long game. Again, it's very much like if Playdead with Limbo sit out their stall and say, "This is our game." This is kind of them saying, "And this is you see what I mean? This is the game we make. We make these kind of games, and we're very, very good at it." Because in terms of looking at it, it's one of those games that it somehow manages to keep reminding you how amazing it looks. Like you may get used to it for 10 minutes, then you'll go to you'll come to another area, and it's like, Jesus, the lighting, the design here, the direction. That's one thing this has got. The direction is phenomenal. The puzzles are not quite as hard as Limbo, I don't think.
Oh, good, because I think I got stuck.
Was it the brain bug thing?
Doing games. Fuck knows. I think it was a thing when there's structures and people throwing arrows at me, spears at me, maybe.
I don't even remember that. But I mean, the one bit that I remember.
Or maybe a spider bit.
No, the spider bit's quite early on.
I need to play it again.
You do. It's a really good game, Limbo, and this is in many ways it's better, but in ways I feel that are more important, it's actually not quite as good. Like Limbo's story, I really enjoyed. Like it felt like it worked perfectly, like the beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
It just felt spot on. This game starts. Well, you're a small child running through a really beautiful forest. Different kind of forest, and it's not Limbo's forest, and people are running after you. It starts off as like a truck, like a big lorry, and there's loads of people being loaded into it, and guy with a flashlight, and you're trying to avoid it, and you'd run off, and then dogs. Again, one thing from Limbo, the deaths were brutal, spot on. Like in this one, again, you're a child, and a dog will catch you, and it will rip at your neck. Adults will literally shoot you dead, or they will run up to you and smother you, or put you in a sleeper hold. Like the deaths are grisly, and it sort of really stands out because it's a child. The problem, there's two problems with this game. One is the story. Again, it starts off really interestingly. You're running away. You're I don't want to spoil it, but you're running away from something. There's some sort of I get the feeling there's some sort of oppressive corporation involved. That there's definitely some mind control. That all the adults seem to be like.
Okay.
Well, a lot of the adults seem to be weirdly zombified. And one of the puzzles is you can jump and put this hat on where you're suspended. The hat is holding you in the air, and your actions then control the adults. So while you're not moving, you're able to make the adults move, and of course they're stronger or taller, and that plays into the puzzles in a really cool way. But there's a point where the story, I can't really think of another way of describing it, but it kind of goes full art house wanker. Like, it goes beyond pretension to the point where, like, I was attached to this little kid, and now I kind of don't care because I don't understand. Well, no, it's not that I want him to die. It's just I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, it's quite clear in what's happening. You are trying to escape or run away from something, or some, you know, the world, whatever this world is, whatever these people are doing. You're trying to get away from it, and then it just goes super weird and sort of has a bit of a climax, but also kind of just ends. And I feel like it's slightly too vague. I like games like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, where you have to kind of fill in the blanks with what you've seen and experienced.
Okay.
But I also want something to just nudge me a little bit. And towards the end of this, it's just so vague. Maybe I'm stupid, Dan. I don't know. Maybe I'm absolutely stupid. And
there's a possibility.
You know, maybe people will watch this and go, "Oh, you idiot! This is what's going on." And it's like, well, obviously something's going on. The other problem, and again, this is a little bit of a complaint. It's the same complaint I had about Limbo, is that while it's really good fun, it feels good, it looks great. The other complaint I have is one that I had about Limbo, in that it's very trial and error. So, like, you'll come to a puzzle and you'll look at it and you can see this is a puzzle, I have to work this out, and you might die and you go, okay, so that's not the solution. Then you're trying, okay, that's not the solution. And it's checkpointed in a way in that when you die, your checkpointed is kind of right back at the start of that puzzle. And so they know that you will have to basically use trial and error to solve the puzzle. And part of me thinks that's great, because, like, you wouldn't want to play the whole game again just to get back to a puzzle. But at the same point, you're like, you know, I'm not going to get this. You're using trial and error in a way. I don't know. It's a weird complaint. I know other people disagree. And if it didn't bother you in Limbo, it won't bother you here. It's a gorgeous game, though. I mean, people are seeing it as we're talking, and it's so good looking. I've tried to show only really early stuff so people don't get it spoiled. But it's not long. There are achievements for, like, hidden bits. That some of the puzzles off the beaten path that are, like, for the hidden collectible things are really, really fun and interesting. And
I didn't realise there were beaten paths in 2D.
Yeah, you know, that you'll be like, oh, you can swim in this one as well, by the way, whereas, you know, in Limbo you die in water. But you say you swim down and you think, well, I think I can just about make it. Looks like there's a bit of light. Go down there and you're off the story path and off to the left a bit, and there's another room with a puzzle and a collectible, and that stuff's really cool. I don't know. There is a room in this game that I couldn't get into, and looking in the background, I think that room unlocks if you find every collectible, which I didn't do. I might try to do still. So maybe there's like an alternative ending or something different happens. I don't know. Maybe there's more story there. Maybe that room, it's like a big cylinder thing with a locked door that looks like you can unlock it. Maybe in there's something that's like, this is what's going on, these are the people behind it. I don't know. But inside it's hard to say it's worth the wait when it's 6 years. But if you loved Limbo, you're going to love this. It's very much Limbo style. This is them saying, we do this kind of game and we're amazing at it because this is a brilliant game.
That's what I was just going to ask before we wrap up. Like, why do you think it's taken 6 years to do it if it is just a not very long
I have no idea.
2D platform?
I genuinely have no idea. I read up on it and it appears that they wanted to make sure it was bug-free, blah, blah, blah. And it is. Like, there's absolutely no issues with the game that's as bug-free as I think you could be. I don't know. I genuinely don't know why it's taken 6 years. It could be an art thing. It is so special looking. And it also uses audio well. Like, there are moments where there's complete silence. Like, complete silence to the point where you think, shit, I accidentally muted my TV. So I don't know. Maybe they just want to take their time, I suppose.
Fair, but just can't argue with that.
No?
They must have made a lot of money from Limbo, so they said it fucking sold. They bled that dry, so
yeah,
why
definitely.
not? That's good. So, any last thoughts on Inside Adam Cook?
No, just that if you did enjoy Limbo, you should play this because it's more, there aren't that many games like this that value. You know, the gameplay is good, but the visuals are beautiful, and it's like there's definitely something being told here. I just couldn't quite unfold it myself.
Okay, fair enough. But you can follow GodisaGeek on Twitter at GodisaGeek. You can go on Facebook.com/GodisaGeek. And of course, you can go to Patreon.com/GodisaGeek to throw us a couple of pounds, you little rascals.
Just one's fine.
Oh, yeah, one. Whatever you want. I'm easy, mate. Anyway, thanks for that. See you later.
Should have backed the GodisaGeek Patreon.